Tyson lost again in the rematch against Alexander Usyk, but maybe, just maybe, he would have had more success if he showed more fury in the ring rather than showing fury at the judges. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling, and we're here today to have a look at the punch stats. We're going to break down the fight, the 12 rounds, and just see if there is anything in Fury's claims that he was robbed. Now, that's what Tyson Fury is claiming. He's claiming that he was robbed. He's claiming that he won the fight by at least 3 rounds. Now, did he win the fight by 3 rounds? We'll have a look at that in a minute. We also had Frank Warren. He was flabbergasted. He could not believe that judges gave the fight 116 to 112 in favour of Usyk. He was pretty much also claiming it to be a robbery. And what I find baffling is you got a lot of these people that are in boxing, whether it be the actual fighters or the promoters, and you would think that spending years and decades in boxing that you would actually know how fight scoring works and how fight cards work, yet these guys still don't have a clue. Frank Warren said it was impossible to give 116 to 112 Usyk. He could not wrap his head around it, but 116, 112, that isn't necessarily a one-sided fight. That can still be a very close fight. For example, you could have a fight where most people watch it and they believe that it's a draw. A lot of people could watch the fight, they could believe that it is 6 rounds apiece. You could believe it's 6 rounds apiece, and then maybe you rewatch the fight and 2 of the rounds that you gave one fighter were very close, then you decide that you're going to switch them around. So you go from 6-6, if you take, so 6-6 or 114, 114. If you switch 2 of the rounds that were very close that you gave to one fighter and you give it to the other fighter, then all of a sudden it becomes a bigger swing. And 6-6 then turns into 8-4. Or 114, 114 turns into 116, 112. So I don't understand this. You can get a very close fight that can still be separated by 4 rounds. You can have a very close fight that is still decided by either 116 to 112 or 8 rounds to 4. So for Warren to say he can't understand that, he's an idiot. He seems to think that this scoreline means that Usyk absolutely dominated the entire fight, and that's not true. All he did was win 8 rounds to 4. And if you've got 2 really close rounds that you could give either way, then that is the difference between a draw and somebody winning by 8-4. Now, Fury claimed he was robbed. He claimed that he won by 3 rounds. Again, I don't know what he means by that, because if you win a round, then that means your opponent is losing a round. So nobody really wins by 3 rounds. I get it. Some judges like to give a 10-10. Some judges like to score fights and draws even, or rounds even, sorry. But most judges don't, okay? Most people don't give 10-10 rounds. So therefore, winning by 3 rounds, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So I don't know why Fury's coming out with that garbage. You either win by 2 rounds or you win by 4 rounds. It's very rare that somebody wins by 3 rounds or by 3 points. For that to happen, you normally need a knockdown or you need somebody to give a 10-10 round where they're not giving somebody a 10-9. So again, the logic here from Fury, unless I just don't see where he's getting free. I don't see where he's getting 3 rounds from. You don't get odd. It's very rare that you get odd number of rounds won, like I said, unless there is a knockdown or unless somebody gave a round a draw. Fury's claiming he won by 3. I'm not seeing that whatsoever. So yeah, the AI judges gave it 118 to 110 in favour of Usyk. Fury claimed that AI judges are ridiculous. He claimed that AI judges should be never used again. Load of bollocks, he said, that, computers can't do shit. Let humans judge it. But even he is upset with the human scorecard. So let's look at the combi box numbers. Now, a lot of people are saying this ain't accurate or whatever. But at the end of the day, I think more often than not, these numbers are pretty accurate. They're not 100% accurate, but it's the closest thing we have. when it comes to record and punch stats. Now, if you look at these punch stats, if you look at the shots landed, then we've got Fury being outlanded in 10 rounds compared to Usyk. If you look at the 12 rounds, Usyk outlanded Fury 10 rounds to 1. And then there was one draw in there. So round 1, they both land at 6 each. Then Usyk landed more in Fury in rounds 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And the only one where he didn't outland more than Fury was round 4. So when you look at it like that, you had 10 rounds where Usyk outlanded Fury, you had 1 round where Fury outlanded Usyk, and then you had 1 round where they landed the same amount of punches. So, I mean, a lot of people thought Usyk won this fight, and when you look at the stats here, I think it's easy to see why judges would give this 116-112. I think it's easy to see why the AI gave it 118-110. Now, I'm not saying I agree with the 118-110 because I don't. I think that's too wide. But for me, Usyk did win this fight, and there's nothing here to suggest that Fury won this by 3 rounds. Usyk landed more, and he landed it at a more accurate rate because he threw less. So for me, yeah, and he landed more power punches too. I felt like he landed more combinations. A lot of Fury's stuff was, like 1 or 2 shots, whereas I felt like Usyk was doubling up sometimes, landing good combinations, 3 or 4 combinations, whereas Fury was just going for the one big shot or maybe a 1-2. But to me, Usyk landed more. I think he landed the flashier shots as well. I think Usyk won this fight. I don't think there's much here to suggest that Fury won it. Could you make it closer? I mean, you could, but if you give Fury 4 rounds, then you only need 2 more swing rounds to have it a draw. So, I mean, what rounds would you give Fury? Some people are saying he won round 1. Some people are saying that he won round 4 and round 3. I mean, I could maybe see that. But the back 6 rounds, I think Usyk pretty much won them all. Now, maybe round 12 was a bit closer. I mean, look, it just depends. It's scoring at the end of the day. It is subjective, but I think that Usyk won this fight. I'm not seeing much reasoning here to give it to Fury. So let me know what you guys think down below. But yeah, the power punches landed. Usyk landed at 50%. Fury under 40%. The jabs landed. Usyk landing at 34%. Fury only landed at 17.5%. So, I mean, yeah, Fury threw a lot more jabs and a lot more power punches, but, he didn't land, he didn't connect at a better rate than Usyk did. So, yeah, I'm looking at this, and honestly, I think 4 rounds for Fury, I think that's about right. I would struggle to give him more. I'm looking at this, and I'm struggling to give Fury more. I think if you give him 5 rounds, you're being generous. And then if you give him 6 rounds, it's a draw. So, Fury's on 4 rounds. If you give him 2 more rounds, he gets a draw. I don't think he deserved a draw. Again, could you give him 5 rounds? I mean, maybe, but I think that would be a little bit unfair on Usyk. Because I think Usyk won rounds 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So I'm giving him those 6 rounds, and I'm giving him round 2. If you want to give Fury round what? You give Fury round 1, round 3, round 4, round 5, and round 12. That's you being generous. I think that's you giving Fury everything you could. I think those 5 rounds are and even then, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that Fury won round 3, 5, or 1, or 12. I think that Fury won round 4, but that's about it. And that's the round where that's the only round that he outlanded Usyk was round 4. I think the only other ones you could give him are 1, 3, 5, and 12, but those rounds were pretty close. So if you give Fury all the close rounds, then you're really, being generous towards Tyson Fury. So, let me know what you guys think down below. I think it's a pretty fair scoreline, to be honest. 116-112. For me, that's pretty spot on. All 3 judges agreed. And for once, I think all 3 judges have got it right. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Been Fog Wrestling. Thanks for watching, and peace.